Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, I'm going to be on the test server and I want to show you something really fun with the fusion that's going to start in one day, tomorrow. The fusion that we all voted, and that's going to be the fusion for Wixwell, I would say his name, Vault Keeper Wixwell. Okay, so this is the fusion that kind of it's a little bit controversial from what I've heard. Like, some people say he's really good, other people say he's really bad, and honestly, I don't think he's either of those. I think he's one that's really unique, but at the same time, I feel like he will have a spot on most accounts. But what I'm going to showcase today is the power of Vault Keeper Wixwell in his current form with all the buffs and debuffs that he brings for the sake of the Demon Lord. Okay, so if you're somebody that started playing in the last 3 months, for example, and maybe you did not reach Ultra Nightmare yet, okay? Maybe you're still at the point where you're trying to beat Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss and you're still struggling, you're missing those key components, especially if you don't have an unkillable comp, then, well, Wixwell is gonna come in really clutch, and I'm gonna show a team that I built, and I try to keep it as free-to-play friendly, I guess, from the sake of builds as I could, and the same thing from the sake of the champions. So, what team am I talking about? Well, let me just show you the team that I managed to put up, and basically the thing is, from this team you can make a ton of other variations. You just have to play around with the tunes, with how you land your buffs, your debuffs, the timings and all of that, but this is the team that I came up with, okay? So I run Wixwell in the lead because he brings defense in all battles. Then I'm running Deacon for the sake of his leech on the A1 and decreased defense. That's about it. Don't really care about his turn meter control. You can use him in the lead as well if you want. You can use his speed lead, take advantage of that. Should drop your speeds lower if you do have him. So this one just depends on however you want to do it. I just put him in the lead, and then I realized I could have used Deacon, but I didn't do it, so I did not want to swap all the builds. Then the next one's going to be a Geomancer for the sake of the DPS. He's really good because of the HP bond, the weaken, and then the reflect that he does. I want you to keep in mind now, before I do the run, that this is not the full potential of the team because Geomancer does better. Oh, we actually have Affinity. Well, this is going to be interesting because I've not run this on Affinity. That's the funny thing. Okay, it seems like Dyadia, I think, or if I say his name right, just obliterated Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, you got into Spirit. It might be a little bit trickier, but let's continue looking at the team. So, Geomancer, like I said, he's just DPS, but you don't necessarily need Geomancer. You can basically bring, instead of him, whoever is your best DPS. However, having someone like a Geomancer paired with a Rathalos, which again, most people should have had Rathalos if you've been playing for 3 months. He's really good for a DPS, decreased defense. Then obviously his A2 is really good, and he has a really interesting passive. So these 2 roles can be anybody else. You can have whoever. You can have Farrakhan the Fat. You can have whatever are your best DPS that bring you weaken, because you already have decreased defense from Deacon. If they bring you weaken, poisons, decreased attack. So, combination of those ones, that's what you want to use. And then the last one, which I don't see too much used, but if you pair him with Wixwell, is going to be perfect. That's going to be Joreg. Joreg is the ally protector with the increased defense on the A2, and then on the A1 he does bring the decreased attack, which is a pretty good chance. It's what, 40, 50, 60% chance to land it on the A1, but he also brings the passive that basically if you lose more than 20% of your max HP in one hit, you're gonna get a continuous heal placed by him. So this was the team that I ran. Now, let me show you exactly the speed tune because, well, again, I'm not sure if it's gonna work on Spirit. I've not tested. Let me just see in the calculator. What does the calculator say? If you move it to Spirit, it's not gonna work. Well, the one way I can fix that is I can just drop somebody from this team. So I could drop a Deacon, or like I could drop a Geomancer or somebody. I guess let's see who goes first always. Deacon. I could drop a Deacon. I could bring a Doom Priest just to show as an example. Okay, bring Doom Priest in the team. You switch it to Spirit, and you might just have to tweak some speeds because it seems like it just moves Joreg's A2 to be for the second AoE. So, like, again, this is unfortunate. I really wanted to show this on Void Affinity, but I guess we're gonna play with this one. I'm just gonna show you. I might just show you the the builds and everything. I'm just gonna show you the damage, and I might just come back and just show you exactly what how this run goes and the rotation. But basically, the way that I have it set up, just to give an idea, is it goes full auto from the start. You have Wixwell opening with his A3, which is going to be the increased defense and the shields, plus he puts that intercept buff on one target. One thing that's amazing about this one, and that's, is going to be quite unique, and this principle should work for any other team where you need a little bit of stun targeting, but you don't have, or you don't want to use a cleanser. Well, the way that this one works is he places that intercept, he starts first with the lead, and then goes to the next one, and so on. And then everything else is obviously AoE. But the way that this one works is he lands those 2 stacks on each one of those champions, and if they don't get triggered, okay, the intercept basically, what does this intercept do? Let's just have a look at it. If you go into champions over here, everything today seems like I'm just going to be all over the place. But basically, he prevents the stun, okay? One stack of that intercept gets depleted, and that one's going to prevent the stun. But the cool thing about this is it's not the duration of how many turns you take. So if you land the intercept on somebody for 2 turns, it stays there up until it gets, up until somebody tries to stun, sleep, freeze, provoke, fear, chew, fear, petrify, or sheep you, okay? And because that one's so cool, you're going to start having intercept on everybody in your team. So doesn't matter who's going to take the stun, you should be basically covered. The way that it worked in this team is the first stun would actually go on Deacon, which I don't mind, but after that, he's slowly going to put intercept on everybody, and you're never going to have to worry about the stun itself. That's why it's the perfect team to work on Void. However, on Spirit, again, like I showed you in the calculator, it would now work perfectly. But let me continue and show you the rotation of this one. So again, Wixwell A3, priority, second priority the A2. This one's amazing because he brings decrease attack. And then he extends duration of all the buffs. The extension of the shields is not that big, okay? It's not that impressive. This part, from my point of view, could have just not existed and would have been just about the same. But the fact that he does an AoE hit with decrease attack and extends duration of all buffs, that's just perfect for a killable comp, which I'm showing you over here. Then Deacon I'm using with the A3 turned off. Jorag I open with the A1, then prioritize the A2. Geomancer first priority the A3, second priority the A2. The reason why you want to use the A2 as well is because on Affinity you can remove the increase attack. And if you do it in this way, he's always going to do it after the boss has the increase attack up. And then Rathalos, you're obviously going to have his A3 turned off because you don't want that increased speed, at least for this team specifically. So that's the way that this team works. You know what, let's just just for shits and giggles, let's just do it like quick instant run, okay? Quick battle with this preset, and let's see how it actually goes, because I don't really need to do the run. Even on wrong affinity, even without trying to make this to be affinity friendly, because we get that decreased speed buff like I showed you over here. So let me just go over there and put the speed tune again. So even with the decreased speed landing on us, being on Spirit Affinity, and stuff going a little bit all over the place, this team still did 28.46. And if we multiply this by, if we do this, let's see, 70.2 split by 28.4, it's still a 3 key, okay? This one's still a 3 key Ultra Nightmare. This one basically, unless it's Spirit, this one can be a 2 key Ultra Nightmare with the right builds. And let me show you why I like this team so much, and why I believe that Wixwell is going to be amazing for killable comps for people that are trying to get there, okay? I'm not talking about end game, because most people in the end game, you're going to try and get unkillable, you're going to try and get that to be, 1 key, full auto, that's it, move on with your day. But if you're somebody that's still struggling to get Ultra Nightmare, Wixwell will help you, because let me show you how I have my people built. They're not fully built, okay? Like, I try to do it specifically on purpose because I obviously have a max Great Hall. I get some other bonuses from all the other stuff. I do not have anything on the Demon Lord though from the area bonuses. I have no bonus. I basically tried to build them as bare minimum as I could with some sets that made sense, and it still worked. So the things that you have to keep in mind is you're going to want to have these speeds, okay? I'm going to have the link to this one anyway in the description of this video, so just check it out. So you want to have Jorek 257, 191 Geo, 197 Deacon. I put Godseeker in spot of Wixwell because obviously Wixwell is not in the calculator yet, so Godseeker keeps the role of that, and then Rathalos at the bottom with 193. However, there's another one that you can use, which I realized again afterwards, which are basically lower speed. That's the faster variation, and that's going to be this team over here. If it slowly loads out, that basically is going to run the same way for the Ultra Nightmare Clan boss. Come on, why is everything so weird today? Why is everything so weird? So this one allows you even slower speed. So Jorek could be 239. Then I just left the other champions, but basically you just slot in your champions over here. The only thing I would say to keep in mind is try to get Wixwell to go as the first one over here, so it extends all of those buffs. So let's say instead of Razin, we would have the Godseeker over here, and then you would see you still have the ally protection, increased defense for the whole fight. Again, you see variations with Marked in here. You can even use Marked, for example, in the team to block if you want to go on Spirit. Let's say you drop the Deacon and just go with Marked over there. Let's see, Marked, and then she will land the, where is she? Marked should come over here, and she should land the A3 to make us affinity friendly. And there we go. As long as Marked lands that A3, and then Wixwell, which is Godseeker in case, extends it, you're affinity friendly for the decreased speed, but then at the same time you can take the stun because you have that intercept buff from Wixwell. So I do believe that this team is pretty fun. Like, I really like it, and I like that it enables somebody like a Jarek that has an ally protection on the 4th turn to be able to be used. You know, he can be used because like this, you're gonna have ally protection on all the time, you're gonna have increased defense on all the time, and everything's just gonna fall in tune pretty well, and you're only gonna need one person with the what's it called, with the, why can I not word stay? Why can I not word stay? You're only gonna need one person that's gonna have in this team the ally protection. You don't need two to try and keep extending those. So I have Jarek in a lifesteal because he's obviously gonna take lots of damage. I don't have the perfect stalwart because I sold most of it, but I have him in lifesteal. Then obviously War Master, and then down to support tree. This is how you'd want him. You want Sniper and Master Hexer for a higher chance to land this decreased attack. Then we talk about Geomancer. I just built Geomancer in a set that I thought would be used everywhere, and that's going to be a regen plus a perception. Barely any damage, mostly survivability, accuracy to land this stuff, and then the right speed, and then he has War Master, and then again down the support tree to try and extend that burn and that weaken. And again, you see, I don't have no accessories. I only have accessories here because my lifesteal sucks as well. You know, I just tried to do as much as I could with bare minimum to just hit the right stats. Then if you move over to a Deacon, I built a Deacon in a Guardian set. You want to try and get at least one person, a killable comp in the Guardian set to try and mitigate a little bit more of that damage. And he's again Guardian plus Perception, no accessories at all. He's running 197, 100% crit rate, barely any damage. You can see again mostly survivability and accuracy. War Master, obviously on him again with Life Drinker, and then down the support tree. Deacon's basically in the team, like I said, for the leech and the decreased defense. And obviously if you want to use him in the lead, you can. But then if you're gonna do that, when you come over here to a calculator account, put the speed lead over here, okay? So let's say I put 19, I put the speed to be 19%. And now you have to keep in mind, how do you fix this? Well, the way you fix it is obviously keep in mind how the speed tune worked and everything. But the way you fix it is you just go and make this number to appear down here. So just click, keep going down up until I get to 257, and then I see, okay, this is the speed I need on him, 257. Geo 191, okay, let's take him down to 191. There we go, what's this, 197? You get the gist. That's how you fix it if you try to introduce a speed lead in a team that does not already have a speed lead. But yeah, that's the Deacon build. Then Rathalos, basically I just threw some perception, cruelty, and I just gave him this amulet because I needed more accuracy. His damage is a bit overkill, okay? I do have a little bit overkill crit damage on him, but basically, again, Rathalos can be anybody else that you want as a DPS, and I want you to keep in mind that because of the way the Wixwell works, you're not going to need Rathalos, and even though he did a ton of damage, as I showed you, let me just run the team again. Even though you're gonna see the Rathalos does a ton of damage because of that Brimstone as well, keep in mind you're gonna get a blessing for Wixwell, even if it's just a 1-star. Okay, so you see 5.3 million. This one was a little bit worse RNG, I guess. But again, it's Spirit Affinity, so it's not perfectly tuned for this. But you see that he's at the top of damage, but still look at Wixwell without having the Brimstone. Keep in mind, you're gonna get at least a 1-star because you're gonna see it in the market, and he's gonna be perfect for these types of teams because of the fact that he's a legendary, he can have Brimstone, and secondly, he will always have counterattack, which means he's gonna attack so much that he pretty much should always keep that Brimstone on the boss all the time. He should do a better job than Rathalos, even because he also has a double hit on the A1, whereas Rathalos only has a single hit. Now, when it comes to Wixwell, the way that I built him is actually put him in a toxic set because of the same reason, like I said with Brimstone. He has that counterattack, and basically every time he's attacked, he counterattacks. He's attacked, he counterattacks. So he should keep those poisons up a ton. So honestly, if you have him in a toxic, you only need maybe maximum of another poison, or maybe you don't even need another poison on the team. Maybe just some other people that do, like I said, if you have a Geo, go with Geo, so a Ferric in the Fed that does some melee attack, or somebody else maybe bring a secondary protector if you have a Skull Crusher for more counterattacks. But yeah, he's, like I said, he's built in Toxic. Again, just the speed, barely any damage, mostly survivability, the accuracy to land his stuff. War Master again, down the support shield. I did try to give him these ones because he does land shields, so I tried to make him extend those shields. And Master Hexer for a chance to extend that decrease attack and the poisons that he actually lands. But yeah, I do believe he has a pretty interesting kit, and I believe most people should go for the Wixwell fusion because, again, he has a unique kit. He has a new buff that's pretty interesting, and I'm quite sure it's gonna have some fun uses in Arena that people will figure out. Especially, you know, he doesn't only bring that intercept, he brings increased speed, shield AoE, he brings decreased attack AoE, he also brings the chance to provoke, plus counterattack on himself. I do believe he's a fun champ, and I do believe most people should do it. But I guess we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I cannot exactly show you. This is annoying. I wish they would have not destroyed the clan boss so fast, but I was gonna show you the run. However, at the end of the day, the way that you saw the damage that I showed you with the quick battle is just about the same way that this team will go on any other affinity apart from the Spirit Affinity, okay? Because Spirit Affinity, like I said, you have the decreased speed that lands, and that one can be a problem. But the damage that I did, for example, on Void was 32 million. And honestly, there's not much to show because this team does not need a rotation. It goes full auto, okay? This one just runs full auto. Everybody does their stuff at the right time, and the team falls into sync, and everything was just fine. The first stun does not go on Wixwell because there's counterattack. It goes on Decom, but by the time, let's say, the stun would try to switch to somebody else because they would have lower HP, the intercept will be on all of them and you will never be stunned, and your rotation should be just fine. But anyway, I guess we're gonna leave it at this for today, guys. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this gives you an idea if you're like, you know, early, mid, maybe even late game, but you didn't get to Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss, which I would be surprised if you're late game and don't have Ultra Nightmare. It might give you an idea of how you can use Wixwell, and it might give you the extra push maybe that you needed to say, yes, I'm gonna go for the fusion. I'm gonna do it on my main account because it's a unique champion, okay? That's what I usually try to say to people. If it's unique, try and do it. But anyway, I blabbered enough. Thank you all for watching, guys. As always, if you did enjoy my content, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.